For 1,000 years, they waited. Tonight, they rise for me.
In a golden throne room bigger than any palace on Earth, the most powerful alien empress in the galaxy fell to the floor. She ruled 1,000 worlds. Her blue-skinned army never lost. No one had ever made her show fear. Then 3 quiet humans from Earth spoke 3 names. Just names. No guns. No ships. No bombs. The Empress collapsed. Her crown rolled across the floor. A glowing tear ran down her blue face. Her entire court froze in pure terror. But the truth behind this will shock you. First, those names were never supposed to exist outside her bloodline. Second, humans found them in a dead alien station no one was meant to find. Third, the Empress did not fall because of pain alone. She fell because she finally understood what humanity really was. This is not just another alien story. This is the day the galaxy learned why you never underestimate Earth. Let me show you exactly how this happened. The grand hall of the Star Throne stretched farther than most humans could imagine. Golden pillars rose into the darkness above. Soft light fell from floating crystals. Hundreds of armored guards stood in perfect silence. Their blue skin shone under the gold light. Spears stood tall in their hands. At the center of it all sat the alien Empress. Her skin was deep blue. Her long white hair fell in 2 thick braids. A heavy golden crown rested on her head. Her golden eyes looked down on everyone like they were small insects. She had ruled the Valar Empire for 300 years. No one had ever made her show fear. No one had ever made her fall. Until today. 3 humans stood before her throne. They wore simple dark clothes. They carried no weapons. The Empress looked at them with cold amusement. She had seen many races beg. She had seen many races break. Humans were new to the galaxy. Most of the Empire believed they were soft. Weak. Easy to control. The Empress leaned forward on her throne. Her voice was smooth and sharp at the same time. "You stand in the heart of my power," she said. "Speak carefully. One wrong word and your world burns." The oldest human, man with gray hair and calm eyes, took 1 step forward. His name was Captain Elias Voss. Beside him stood Commander Lena Hart and Dr. Marcus Kane. The 3 of them had come as the first official human delegation. They were not here to fight. They were here to talk. Or so the Empress believed. The entire court waited. The blue-skinned guards tightened their grips on their spears. High nobles whispered behind their hands. The Empress smiled. She expected fear. She expected respect. She expected the humans to lower their eyes. Captain Voss did not lower his eyes. He looked straight at her. Then he spoke 3 names. The first name was soft. The second name was clear. The third name was almost a whisper. The moment the last sound left his lips, the Empress stopped smiling. Her golden eyes went wide. Her hands gripped the arms of her throne so hard the gold bent. A single tear of pure light ran down her blue cheek. Then her body shook. The mighty alien Empress, ruler of 1,000 worlds, collapsed from her throne and fell to the floor in front of everyone. The hall exploded into chaos. Guards rushed forward. Nobles screamed. The floating crystals flickered. No one could believe what they had just seen. The Empress of the Valar Empire lay on the cold floor, breathing hard, her crown rolling away across the marble. She looked up at the 3 humans with pure terror in her eyes. How could simple words from a weak race do this? What power did humans hold that no one else in the galaxy knew about? The answer began many years earlier. Far from this golden hall, humanity had only recently reached the stars. For a long time, Earth stayed quiet. Then one day, a small human exploration ship found an abandoned Valar listening post on the edge of known space. Inside the station, the crew found something strange. Old data crystals. Most of them were broken. One crystal still worked. Dr. Marcus Kane was the one who cracked it open. The data was not about weapons or ships. It was about names. True names. In the Valor culture, every important being had two names. One name the public used. One name that was secret. The secret name held power. If someone spoke the true name of a Valor noble with the right tone and the right knowledge, that noble felt painches. Real painches. Deep pain that reached the soul. The higher the rank, the stronger the effect. For the Empress, the effect was almost deadly. The Empire had kept this secret for thousands of years. They erased every record. They killed anyone who learned too much. They believed the secret was safe forever. They were wrong. The abandoned station held a full list. True names of the royal bloodline. True names of the high generals. True names of the Empress herself. 3 names that no living being outside the royal family should ever know. The human crew copied everything. They sent it back to Earth in secret. For 5 years, the best human minds studied the data. They learned how the names worked. They learned the exact way to speak them. They practiced until the words felt natural. Then they waited for the right moment. That moment came when the Valor Empire demanded Earth join their empire as a servant world. The Empress herself invited a human team to her throne world. She wanted to show her power. She wanted humans to kneel. She never expected humans to already know her deepest secret. Captain Voss, Commander Hart, and Dr. Kane volunteered for the mission. They carried no guns. They carried no bombs. They carried only 3 words. Back in the throne hall, the Empress slowly pushed herself up. Her guards helped her stand. Her crown was gone. Her perfect calm was gone. She stared at Captain Voss like he was a monster. "How?" she whispered. Her voice shook. "No one knows those names." "No one." Captain Voss kept his voice steady and calm. "We know," he said. "And we know more." The Empress looked around the hall. Every noble and every guard had heard the names. The secret was out. Panic spread like fire. If humans knew the Empress's true names, what else did they know? Did they know the names of the High Lords? Did they know the names of the fleet admirals? The Empire's greatest weapon had always been fear. Now that fear turned back on them. Commander Lena Hart stepped forward next. She was younger than Voss, but her eyes were just as hard. She spoke 2 more names. These names belonged to the 2 highest generals standing near the throne. Both generals dropped to their knees at once. One of them cried out in painches. The other held his head and moaned. The whole fell silent again. No one moved. No one breathed. The humans had just proven they held power over the entire ruling class. Dr. Marcus Kane watched everything with quiet interest. He was the scientist. He understood the old data better than anyone. He knew the names did not kill. They only caused deep pain and loss of control. The effect lasted only a short time if the names were spoken once. But if they were spoken again and again, the pain grew worse. The Valor mind could not protect itself from its own true name. It was a biological and mental weakness built into their race long ago by some forgotten force. The Empire had hidden it for ages. Now humans held the key. The Empress forced herself to stand tall again. She tried to look strong. "You will die for this," she said. Her voice was weak. "My fleet will burn your world." Captain Voss shook his head slowly. "No," he answered. "You will not. Because if any ship leaves this system with orders to attack Earth, we will speak every name we know. Every general. Every admiral. Every noble. Your empire will fall into chaos before the first shot is fired." The Empress stared at him. She saw no lie in his eyes. She saw only cold truth. For the first time in 300 years, she felt small. She felt helpless. The golden hall that once made her feel like a goddess now felt like a cage. Her own people looked at her with new eyes. Some looked afraid. Some looked angry. Some looked ready to run. News of the collapse spread through the palace at light speed. Servants whispered. Guards whispered. Within 1 hour, every high noble on the planet knew what had happened. Within 6 hours, the entire star system knew. The Empress ordered a full information blackout. It was too late. Ships began to leave the system without orders. Some nobles tried to flee to their home worlds. Some generals locked themselves in private rooms and refused to come out. The perfect order of the Valar Empire started to crack. Captain Voss and his team were placed under heavy guard in a luxurious guest wing. It was not a prison. It was something worse. It was a waiting room while the Empress decided what to do. The 3 humans stayed calm. They ate the strange blue fruit the servants brought. They drank the clear water. They talked quietly among themselves. They knew the real battle had only just begun. That night the Empress came to them alone. No guards, no crown, only a simple dark robe. She looked tired. Her golden eyes no longer shone with pride. She sat across from Captain Voss and spoke in a low voice. "How many names do you know?" she asked. Voss looked at her for a long moment. "Enough," he said. "Enough to end your rule if we choose." The Empress closed her eyes. "What do you want?" she asked. This was the moment Earth had planned for. Not war. Not conquest. Something smarter. Captain Voss leaned forward. "We want peace," he said. "Real peace. Not the kind where you own us. The kind where we stand as equals. We want free trade. We want open space lanes. We want your empire to leave Earth and every human colony alone forever. And we want you to free the slave races you hold." The Empress opened her eyes. For a second, pure rage flashed across her face. Then the rage died. She knew she had no choice. If she refused, the humans would speak more names. Her generals would fall. Her fleets would lose their leaders. Other races under her rule would rise up. The empire she had built would burn from the inside. She hated the humans for this power. She also respected them. No other race had ever found the old secret. No other race had ever dared to use it so boldly. She stood up slowly. "I will think," she said. Then she left. The 3 humans looked at each other. They knew she would agree. She had no other path. But they also knew the danger was not over. There were still many powerful beings in the Empire who would rather die than accept human equality. Some of them would try to kill the human team before any deal could be signed. The next morning, the first attack came. 3 high nobles sent assassins into the guest wing. The assassins were silent and fast. They carried energy blades that could cut through armor. They expected easy kills. They did not expect Commander Lena Hart. She had trained for this. She moved like water. She took down the first assassin with a hard strike to the throat. Dr. Kane used a small stun device he had hidden in his sleeve. Captain Voss fought the last one with pure skill and anger. When the palace guards finally arrived, all 3 assassins were on the floor. The Empress was furious when she heard. She ordered the 3 nobles arrested. She also ordered double guards for the humans. But the message was clear. Not everyone in the Empire would accept this new reality. Some would rather burn everything than bow to soft humans. The Empress called a full meeting of her High Council. She forced every important lord and general to attend. Then she made the 3 humans stand in front of them all. In that great council chamber, Captain Voss spoke again. This time he did not speak true names. He spoke of Earth. He spoke of human history. He spoke of how humans had fought each other for thousands of years and still survived. He spoke of how humans always found a way. He told them that humans did not want their empire. Humans only wanted to be left alone and treated with respect. Then he gave a quiet warning. "We know more names," he said. "We will not use them if you choose peace. But if you choose war, we will speak every name we have. Your leaders will fall. Your people will see you as weak. Other races will smell blood. Your empire will not last one more year." The High Council sat in heavy silence. Some lords looked ready to fight. Some looked ready to run. The Empress stood and made her choice. She accepted the human terms: full equality, free trade, freedom for the slave races, no more threats against Earth. The agreement would be signed in 3 days. The humans would leave safely. The true names would stay secret as long as the Empire kept its word. But the story did not end there. Deep in the shadows of the palace, a group of hardline generals made their own plan. They believed the Empress had become weak. They believed the only way to save the Empire was to kill the humans and then kill the Empress herself. They would take power. They would claim the humans used some dirty mind trick. They would start a war before Earth could prepare. Their leader was General Korath, one of the strongest military minds in the Empire. He still did not know that the humans also knew his true name. On the second night, the generals moved. They cut power to the guest wing. They sent elite Black Ops soldiers through the dark halls. At the same time, they planned to strike the Empress in her private rooms. They wanted both problems gone in one night. What they did not know was that Dr. Kane had placed small listening devices days earlier. The humans heard every word of the plan. Captain Voss made a hard choice. He decided to use one more name. In the middle of the dark night, as the Black Ops soldiers moved closer, Captain Voss stepped into the main corridor and spoke General Korath's true name in a clear, strong voice. The name traveled through the open comms the soldiers still used. Far across the palace, General Korath screamed and fell to the floor of his command room. His body shook. His mind filled with pure painches. His soldiers heard their leader fall. Confusion spread. Some soldiers stopped. Some turned back. Some kept coming, but without clear orders. Commander Hart and Dr. Kane fought the ones who still attacked. They were outnumbered, but they were ready. Human training and human stubbornness kept them alive. At the same time, the Empress's personal guards heard the noise and rushed to her rooms. They stopped the second attack team. When morning light finally returned, General Korath was under arrest. His fellow plotters were in chains. The Empress looked at the 3 humans with something new in her eyes. Not just fear, respect. She signed the peace agreement that same day. She signed it in front of the entire High Council and every camera in the Empire. She spoke the words clearly. Earth and the Valar Empire would be equals. No more threats. No more slaves. Free travel for both sides. When the last seal was placed on the document, the Empress turned to Captain Voss. "You could have destroyed us," she said quietly. "Why did you stop?" Captain Voss answered with simple honesty. "Because we are not you. We do not need to rule everyone to feel strong. We only need to be free." The 3 humans left the throne world 2 days later. Their ship rose into the stars under full honor escort. No one tried to stop them. No one dared. As the blue and gold planet grew smaller behind them, Dr. Kane looked at the data crystal he still carried. It held hundreds more true names. Names of every important bloodline in the Empire. He could have used them all. He could have broken the Empire forever. Instead, he locked the crystal in a safe and set the code so that only the highest leaders on Earth could open it. The power would stay ready, but it would stay hidden. Years passed. The peace held. Trade ships moved between human and Valar worlds. Some Valar nobles still hated humans. Some humans still distrusted the blue-skinned Empire. But open war never came. The Empress kept her word. She freed the slave races. She opened the space lanes. She even sent a small gift to Earth one day. A single golden crystal that held the history of her people. In return, Earth sent back books of human stories and music. One day, many years later, the Empress sat alone in her private garden. Her white hair was longer now. Her golden eyes were softer. A young human ambassador came to visit. The Empress looked at the young woman and smiled a real smile. Your people still hold our true names, she said. Do you ever fear what we might do if we find a way to stop the power of those names? The young ambassador shook her head. No, she answered, because we also hold something stronger. We hold the choice not to use them. That choice is what makes us human. The Empress thought about those words for a long time after the ambassador left. She understood something deep that day. The real power was never only in the names. The real power was in the people who could hold such a weapon and still choose peace. The Valar Empire had ruled through fear for thousands of years. Humans had faced that fear and answered with something the galaxy had rarely seen. Mercy mixed with strength. Knowledge mixed with restraint. Far across the stars, on Earth, Captain Elias Voss sat in a quiet park and watched children play. He was old now. His hair was fully white. People still asked him about the day the alien Empress collapsed. He always gave the same simple answer. We spoke 3 names, he would say. But the real story was never about the names. It was about what we chose to do after we spoke them. The galaxy slowly changed. Other races heard the story. Some feared humans even more. Some respected them. Some wanted to learn from them. New alliances formed. Old hatreds faded a little. And somewhere in a locked vault on Earth, a small data crystal still waited. It held the power to shake empires. It also held the proof that humans could be trusted with that power. The alien Empress never forgot the day she fell. She never forgot the sound of those 3 forbidden names. But more than the fear, she remembered the look in the human captain's eyes when he chose not to destroy her. That look stayed with her until the end of her long life. In her final years, she would sometimes tell her closest advisors, quiet truth. I once believed power came from making others kneel, she said. Then 3 humans taught me that real power comes from standing up and still choosing not to crush those who fall. And so the story of the collapsed Empress became more than a tale of secret names. It became a lesson that traveled from star to star. A lesson about a young race that reached the stars and brought something rare with them. Not just strength, not just clever tricks, but the rare ability to hold the fate of an empire in their hands and still open those hands in peace. The Golden Hall still stands. The blue-skinned guards still stand watch. But the Empress who sits on the throne now is different. She rules with a lighter hand. She listens more. And every time a human ship arrives in her system, she remembers the day 3 quiet humans spoke words that no one should know, and then chose to build a bridge instead of a grave. That choice changed the course of 2 civilizations. It showed the galaxy that humanity was not weak. It was simply different. And sometimes, different is the most dangerous and the most hopeful thing of all. The greatest secret was never only the true names. Years later, Earth scientists discovered the names were not natural. An ancient race that died long before the Valar Empire rose had created the name power as a control system. They built it into the Valar bloodline so they could rule them forever. When that ancient race vanished, the Valar forgot the origin but kept the weakness. Humans did not just find a secret. They found the last chain of an old empire and broke it with words. The alien Empress collapsed because 3 humans spoke names nobody should know. She rose again because those same humans chose not to finish her. That single choice turned fear into respect and war into lasting peace. The story that began with a fall ended with 2 races standing side by side among the stars. If this opened your eyes to how dangerous and hopeful humanity can be. Today we saw how 3 quiet humans brought an Empress to her knees with nothing but words, then lifted her back up with mercy. We saw that real strength is not only the power to destroy, but the wisdom to stop. We saw that secrets buried for thousands of years can still shape the future when the right people find them. If you felt the weight of that throne room and the power of those forbidden names, make sure you are part of this journey. Hit the like button so more people find these stories. Subscribe and turn on the bell so you never miss the next HFY tale. Drop a comment and tell me if you held the true names of an alien Empress. Would you use them to conquer or to build peace? I read every comment. And if you want even deeper stories, early access, and exclusive HFY worlds, check the link in the description to join our newsletter. The next story is already waiting, and it may be even bigger than this one. Thank you for watching. Stay curious. Stay human. I will see you in the next one.